this is Esther with Discover Your Origins. In this video, I'm going to show you how to attach records in Ancestry, and it takes about 3 steps. But first, I'm looking here at my pedigree chart, and I can see these green leaves next to people's names. These green leaves represent record hints. Ancestry works very similarly to Family Search, but there are a couple of differences. Ancestry lets you have your own private tree, whereas Family Search is a one world tree. And so when Ancestry is looking at your tree that you're building, it also compares it to other user trees, and it also compares it to the indexed information from their record collections. In some ways, this works faster than Family Search, and you can build your tree faster in Ancestry than maybe you could in Family Search. So if you wanted to look at, say, John Hugh Pelt here, he has a green leaf. If you click on his name, the green leaf is up here in the upper right corner of the person box, and there will be a number, and it says that he has 1 record hint. You can go ahead and click on his name and go to his person page and evaluate that hint if you would like. I have a person that I'm working on already, so let me click on over to that. So here I have the person page for Martha Ann Nash, and you can see that she has 12 record hints, which seems like a lot. Before I click on the Hints tab here, I want to become familiar with who Martha Ann Nash is. I can see her name up here at the top with her birth and death date. I don't have any locations associated with her right now. And then you can see that she has a husband, John W.H. Matthews, and her children. So I have done a little bit of work on her already by attaching record hints to her husband. And they show up here because she's also mentioned on the record, and so I automatically attach them to her at the same time. And so I can click on these and see what I already know about her. So let me look at this marriage record. Okay, so this marriage record gives a marriage date, her name, her husband's name, and a place, Gwinnett County, Georgia. So that will be important to know when I'm looking at the other record hints. So now that we're somewhat familiar with Martha Ann Nash, we can go ahead and click on the Hints tab. Okay, so usually the first record hint that Ancestry will suggest to you is Ancestry member trees. I don't recommend looking at that as a first record hint. I save that for last, and usually I end up ignoring those, but they usually end up here at the top. So what I recommend when you click on the hints page for your person is to scroll through and look at what Ancestry is recommending that you look at. Not all of the record hints that pop up will be a match, and some may be a question if they are a match or not. So we know that Gwinnett County, Georgia is important for Martha Ann Nash or Martha Ann Matthews, and so these 2 census record hints may be a really good match. But if you look further, we've got some record hints from DeKalb County, Georgia, Fulton County, Georgia, and so they may or may not be a match. And so when you're looking through this list, you want to pick something that you are pretty sure is a match. And so I want to go back up here and look at this first record for the 1900 census. We have a birth year and a marriage estimated date, and then a couple of other people. So click on the review button. When you do that, the record hint pops out on the side from the right. This will allow you to continue to use the left side of the screen to evaluate the information. So for example, this says Martha Ann Matthews and that her birth year is September 1864 in Gwinnett County, Georgia. That seems a little bit different from the information that I have, but that's okay because census information may not be 100% accurate. The important thing on the census is that the location is right and the other people mentioned in the family group is correct. You can also click back on the left side of the screen to the facts page, and you can use this information here to also evaluate. So we have a marriage year of 1886. That does seem to be a match because I have the marriage year here of 1886. If you scroll down in this record, you can also see the other people mentioned in the record. So I've got her husband, I've got some children, William and Albert. A Trudy is probably a nickname for Gertrude. I have a Lois, that's probably Lois here, a Mary E. Matthews, and a John M., which is probably John Milton. So just by looking at the indexed information, it appears to be a match. Now, if the record hint also has an image, you want to make sure to click through and look at the image. That's always best practice. You can sometimes pick up some additional information, or maybe the record had been indexed incorrectly. So let's find the family group here. So here they are highlighted, and it seems to match pretty well with the indexed information. One thing on the 1900 census is this column here, mother of how many children and how many of these children are living. And this is something that you'll only see, it's not usually indexed, and it says Martha had 7 children and only 6 are living. So there's a missing child here that you may want to look for later. It also will give information about what they were doing for a living. So this family was farming. So always look at the image if there is one available. You'll pick up some more information. Okay, so then you'll answer this question: would you like to save this information to your tree? And you have 3 options: yes, no, or maybe. So depending on what you click on will determine what happens next. If you click on no or maybe, the record hint doesn't disappear forever. If we go back to the hints page, you have options. So you have this green leaf over here to the left that says new with the number 12. Then you have undecided, ignored, and accepted. If you click on no or maybe, the record hint will continue to live and be attached to this person under undecided or ignored, and so you can therefore come back and look at those at a later date. In this case, I think it is a match, so I'm going to click on the word yes. So in this right panel here, you have the record, which is on the left side of this column. It says record details, and then on the right, it says your tree details. If you click on a box, it will automatically fill in the information onto the right. I already have a more complete date, so I don't want to lose that. So I'm going to click on the date here, and I have a birthplace, so I'm going to add Georgia. So you can add and clarify information in this column as you go through the evaluation. And here we have all of the children. So if we click on next, it will allow me to attach this record to each of these people and then add to their person pages right from Martha Ann Nash's pages. So, you know, I can see that I need to add a birthplace for Fannie Lois. And we'll just keep on clicking through here. And we need to add a birthplace for Mary of Georgia. Okay, one last one, Gertrude. Oh, and she is born in Georgia too. Okay, when you're done, click on Save to Tree. And now that record hint that we just accepted now is in the Accepted tab. But if you click on Facts, it will also show up here under the center column for sources. So let's click on another one that we're not sure about, and what would you do with that? So let's look here. Okay, so this one right here is probably Mary with her parents, but let's click on Review, and let's say we're not really sure. Maybe it is or maybe it isn't. I need to do a little more research later. So I'm going to click on Maybe. And so now that record hint has been moved to undecided. And I can come back later and look at the undecided and review it and attach it at a later date. So those are the 3 basic steps for reviewing and attaching records to your person on Ancestry. I've written a blog article with these 3 steps, and I've included step-by-step instructions. So I've included a link to that article in the description box below. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.